On March the 14th, 2008, Tibetans took to the streets in Lhasa in an unprecedented revolt against the Chinese authorities. The revolt turned violent, and protests spread like wildfire across Tibet. The Olympic torch was under attack around the world, and suddenly, China's global coming out party at the Beijing Olympics was under threat. Many Chinese blame Tibet's exiled spiritual leader, the Dalai Lama, and his friends in the West for orchestrating the unrest. But no evidence has been made public, and while Tibet has experienced some of the fastest growth in China, many Tibetans say the hearts and minds of their people have been left behind, and some are growing more militant. Inside Tibet, it's an imprisonable offense even to have a photo of the Dalai Lama. China seems to view him as the largest obstacle to stability and sovereignty. But he claims to have abandoned the cause of independence, and many see him as a vital part of the solution.
I fully committed about one China. I fully committed my middle-wave approach, so don't worry.
The problem is that the Chinese simply don't believe him. They claim that both the Dalai Lama and his advisors are separatists who cannot be trusted. That despite the words of peace, dialogue and compassion, their endgame is to split Tibet away from China. Yet what seems to be important to most Tibetans is that he returns to his homeland.
They're expressing that I should come to Tibet as soon as possible.
But time is not on his side. And is he sincere in his aim of autonomy, not independence? And are the Chinese sincere in their recent offer to talk meaningfully to the Dalai Lama's side? For the last 3 years, this film has had unprecedented access to the Dalai Lama and his inner circle, known by the Chinese as the Dalai clique. The footage of the actions and reactions of the Tibetan leader and those around him will inevitably be scrutinized carefully by those in Beijing. And for that reason, there's no voiceover. The Dalai Lama can speak for himself, and you can make up your own mind.
Prime Minister Paul Martin has agreed to meet the Dalai Lama when he comes to Ottawa.
The visit has sparked controversy. The government of China has rebuked Prime Minister Paul Martin for agreeing to meet with the exiled Tibetan spiritual leader in Ottawa next week.
He's aware that he's asked his people to be patient for almost half a century. And now the young generation is probably losing that patience.
간단다 디 문주 링귀드 삼제다 로시스 신시 디나 초소 투미다 잡도 둔주스 지데 다디 인도 나란주 저어럽데 다 다네 그려디 토야 믹세 토나제제 단다보다 먼저 로 망고진가 갈소래 세미 시베 토네 갈래 잡데 지 잡조지 텐데 고도 모두
데 산주어 요 데 산주어 산주 뭐지
Specifically, what should Canada be doing to accelerate democratic reform?
The Dalai Lama advised us in the context of our friendship with
realistic.
China.
We're a relatively small country. China is a powerful country that's likely to become more powerful.
In a friendly context. And to talk about the importance, ultimately, of human rights as a friend.
But that doesn't stop us from expressing our views and our perspectives, and I think we should do that more vigorously.
Religious leader saying he's 80% a Buddhist monk, not really a politician.
다 캐나다 ഭാഷ는 아메리카 프랑가가 타는 샤즈도 열이 전혀 열이 하이는 편리시도 뭐 이럴 수가 다. 야, 잘 나래. 됐을래. Está casi corta, está casi. Casi que dice algo, casi que va a ser así, está dicho.
notwithstanding the tremendously profitable trade relationship we have with China, we cannot close our eyes to these things. These are serious problems. They are an affront not only to what we'd like to see happen to China, they're an affront to humanity, and these things have to change. But that doesn't mean we stay silent about the things we don't agree with.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, thanks.
Welcome, everybody, and welcome to this press conference.
I'm not saying independence. I believe if we remain within the People's Republic of China, we might get greater benefit.
Compared with the attitude of the Chinese leaders in the early 80s, I found that this time some of the leaders that I met with in Beijing are much more relaxed and also for the first time willing to listen to our views. This, I think, is an opportunity for the Chinese side to demonstrate their sincerity, their willingness, because among the Tibetans, even among international observers, there's a great deal of skeptical attitude. Are the Chinese really very sincere? Are they conducting this exercise mainly because of the international pressure? Or are they really giving serious thought to resolve this issue through dialogue?
Prime Minister Paul Martin met with the Dalai Lama, something none of his predecessors has done, and despite strong objections from China.
It was called an interfaith spiritual gathering, but it's very much about delicate global politics. This is the image that will infuriate the Chinese.
We did discuss human rights. We discussed human rights generally, and we discussed human rights in Tibet.
That is not what China wanted. Chinese officials remain opposed to the visit because they say the Dalai Lama is a politician in exile, engaged in activities aimed at splitting China.
Only question is how much they can do. That's the question. And also is they have to take sort of serious sort of consideration about their good relation with China.
Do you ever wish you weren't the Dalai Lama?
No. The fact is fact. I'm Dalai Lama. And if I utilize my name properly, then also is one sort of benefit, one advantage.
And the training of Buddhism must help, I imagine, enormously.
No special training, nothing, ordinary. But I was very, very lazy student. I think because my mind is quite sharp, so I easily can learn. So the effort, very little. So very lazy.
You see everything, you see every part, you see all my light, and you love my dark, you dig everything of which I'm ashamed. It's not anything to
Welcome to Canada.
Thank you.
Welcome.
This is here.
We have to go back to Washington today, so this is the last time we'll see you. Love you.
How about no longer being masochistic? How about remembering your divinity?
Do you ever get nervous on events like this?
No.
Never.
Almost not.
Did you ever get nervous? Did you get nervous before?
Oh yes. 1954.